a broken nose, a broken fist. You do the math. And yet, despite the clear antipathy between them, and though there are plenty of empty chairs in the emergency room, they sit side by side. Looking at them, you might think you understand what they've been through. A routine spat, words that escalated, but you'd be wrong. This was no simple brawl. No petty disagreement over inheritance or who said what to whom. These brothers, David the older, Scott the younger, have traveled thousands of miles together in the last few days. They've confronted death and strippers and the sudden life-altering emergence of God. They've drunk too much and sprinted into oncoming traffic. Worse, they've had to spend time with their mother. Far, far too much time. A white-gowned orderly emerges from behind a dirty yellow door. "Hernandez," he says. An elderly Latino man gets to his feet, assisted by a young woman, probably his daughter. Following behind is her son, playing a Game Boy. They disappear behind the door. The brothers go back to waiting. With his chin tilted up at a 40-degree angle, all Scott can really see is the ceiling and the top 8 inches of the walls. This is where most of the decorations hang, tacked up in a moment of seasonal zealotry by some love-struck orderly. The hearts have pithy sayings on them. True love is blind. Love is a many-splendored thing. That sort of thing. It doesn't seem so far off, this decorating schematic. All of them there, the bloodied and cramping, the sneezing and moaning, could just as easily have stumbled in off the street following some love-related mishap. They could be heartbroken, starved for attention, crushed by rejection. Scott considers mentioning this to his brother, but the time for words between them is past, swallowed by a black hole acrimony familiar to combatants in most of the planet's age-old ethnic conflicts. The Jews and Arabs, the Hatfields and McCoys. From here on out, it's broken bones or nothing. In the last few days, Scott has learned that sometimes in life you land on your face instead of your feet. David has learned that he's the kind of person who sees a cliff coming and speeds up. The orderly emerges, calls another name. A woman who's been vomiting into a plastic bucket rises weakly to her feet and shuffles forward. The brothers watch her go, ice melting, to the tune of Wonderwall by Oasis. They're beginning to wonder if their time will ever come. Speaking of time, there's a theory of time that goes like this. Chronological time is just a concept invented by animals. It is our way of understanding the universe. Sentient life could not exist without it. How would we navigate a universe in which things didn't happen in some kind of order, in which there was no beginning, middle, or end? Empirically, however, says the theory, all events exist simultaneously, and the entire span of time is just one infinitely dense dot exploding all at once. Time, in other words, is subjective. There is no such thing as past, present, or future. And if there's no such thing as past, present, or future, then the fight that divided these brothers is still happening. And because it is still happening, they feel no shame about it, no guilt or remorse. Because it is still happening, it does not color the rest of their lives one bit. Without time, you see, there is no memory. Memory exists exactly because time is linear, because the past recedes. The human brain collects the things you do and see and feel and hear, both good and bad, and chases you with them into the future. But without time, events would never recede into the past, because there would be no past. People would not be forced to relive their mistakes over and over again, the things that haunt them. And yet, because they are animals, Scott and David see time in a narrow, linear light. They believe their lives have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They believe the things they've done, the choices they've made, have led them to this place of physical, emotional, and most likely, economic bankruptcy. A punch was thrown. A nose was broken, and, at the same time, a hand. And so now, as a result, 2 brothers sit side by side in a New York City emergency room. They will not speak to or look at each other, but both find something reassuring about the closeness of the other. Because the truth is, each is all the other has left.